Okay, now we're going to work on this little cutaway here and take this section out. So let's go have a look and see what we've got on our drawing. This is quite interesting because what we see here is this section that's been cut away. You see it's 26 wide there and 20 deep there. It doesn't really tell you it's an actual cutaway. That could actually be a sloping surface, okay, that came down from this corner here to this edge. Imagine if that was a sloping surface, then you may find that the actual drawing here would be no different. So it probably needs another view, maybe a right side view, or better still a left side view to give you more detail. But that being said, we know that information's there. We can go ahead and create that drawing. Now, you would never ever try and put the sketch on that face there, because if you do, everything that you'll extrude will come off at 90 degrees or in a downwards direction off that face there. So we really need to come around here. Now I'm going to put a new sketch on this face. I want you to watch very carefully what happens when I click new sketch. The actual object will turn itself upside down. See that? Now, so we've got that face lined up there, which is all well and good, but the thing's upside down. So if we go over here, this top right hand corner, you'll see this little arrow here. You can actually spin it around at 90 degrees and then just tap that little one just to make sure it's right. Yep, all good. And now we can go ahead and we can do our sketch. Now, when we go to draw a line, we're going to draw a line down here and one across there. Then we're going to add in our dimensions. Something to be very, very careful of is sometimes when you put your cursor on that line, watch what happens when I move it towards the middle. You see that green line there? Well, when you see that green line, that's the midpoint between there and there. And then if I go and draw off that midpoint line and draw that other line in there, and I come back to try and dimension it, it won't let me change dimensions because it said to me, well, hang on, you told me you wanted a line from the center, obviously. That's why you selected this point and selected on the green dot. So sometimes it's handy if you have to find halfway, you just find the green dot. You don't need to dimension. Other times, if it isn't halfway, then you need to avoid snapping onto that line where that green dot is. So sometimes it's helpful, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a trick to catch out the person who's a little bit unwary. I need to go back and do that one again. Make sure they're 90 degrees. How did I know that was not 90 degrees? Because you could see that jagged line there, and also see that little symbol there just to the right of the cursor, just to the bottom, and also it says 90 degrees over there to the left. They're my signals to tell me that everything's right. And you can see that little upside down T beside that last line I draw tells me that I've created 90 degrees. So we bring that in there. And now let's go and just check our measurements. So it was 20 and 26. So here we go. So dimension. So that line there, we're going to make that 20. And that line there, we're going to make that 26. And finish the sketch. And then extrude, and it's the same principle as that one down there. Click on that, you can see it's going the wrong way. Change that to a cut. Just maybe spin around and make sure that cut is going all the way through, which it is, and OK, and you've done it. So do that, and then come back and watch the final video on how to make this look a little bit more fancier.